Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Jennifer from Sun Dragon Paper and Lace, and I'd like to invite you to this second part of this series of building this, making this journal. So welcome with this craft with me. Just a little disclaimer, I am not an expert, and this is not a tutorial, this is just my process. And I just do this to get some company for people out there that are into junk journaling or any type of paper crafting. People who have the love of lace and vintage paper, all kinds of paper actually, all kinds of lace. Just to find people with commonality. I don't have very many people here in my area that really understand this process, but so anyway, and so therefore that's why I'm here on YouTube, trying to reach out, find some friends, people who understand what I'm talking about, people who can look at a journal that I made and say, oh yes, I get it. A lot of these journals that I make and I give as gifts, I sometimes wonder, people are so polite. I sometimes wonder if they really understand what it's all about. And they all look through it and think it's cool, but really for us it's about the joy of being able to, well, I can't speak to every junk journaler, but for me, I love finding things, finding old things and tearing them apart for the purpose of repurposing and reusing and bringing it back to life. And that is, to me, is just really fun. I went on to start jabbering and I didn't even explain what I was doing here. The last video, I think we ended on me just covering this cover, putting some duct tape on the binding to strengthen it, and then I added this fabric piece to cover that because it was like black duct tape, and because I didn't have bookbinding tape, but duct tape works just as good. All right, so that looks good to me. Now the hard part is punching the holes and making sure everything is even and straight. So I made 3 signatures out of different papers. There's no uniformity to this. I kind of like things all eclectic and shabby and uneven. To me, it has more of an organic feel to it. So I figured, this kind of this wide of a binding, maybe 3 signatures would fit in here. However, as you look right here, this is just plain paper. 3 would be, this is not packing it. And it would be too much of an alligator mouth. So I want to just choose these 2, and then that way it'll give me some room for decor, or maybe not even decor, but just putting just adding a little something. I'm not going to do full-blown decorating. I'm going to add things, some ephemera bits in there, and I will be I'll look at some ephemera that I have laying around and also adding to the ephemera. I have such a hard time pronouncing that word, but it will get there. It will get there. So this is what it looks like so far. So I've got some really old papers from 1800s. There's some rag paper in there and old ledger. And then this is the first day issue envelope here. I'm gonna, I covered the address on there. I'm gonna put something decorative there to cover the address and name and address. So different types of paper. Again, not there's no continuity to it, no cohesiveness, just plain papers that I thought were pretty and would look good in this journal. So now is the placement of the signatures. And I am going to go ahead, let's see, I'm going to take, what would be good? Probably one of these pens. And I'm going to try to do it so that it doesn't have a gap in between them, which means then I have to be careful not to put the holes too far into that crease, because then there would be a gap in the middle. However, the gap in the middle is not a big deal because a lot of times I can put something in there. So this is 6 3/4, and I'm just gonna eyeball this, and I'm gonna go inward a little bit. And I don't like to measure, folks. I just want to let you know that I don't like to measure, so I do a lot of eyeballing. You know, this is a big issue between my husband and I. He especially when I go to hang something up on the wall, I don't measure. I just eyeball it. And it drives him crazy. And I know I drive myself crazy sometimes too, because I end up having to redo. So I get a bunch of holes in my wall because then it doesn't come out straight. And it becomes an issue with my husband, which I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. But you know, the problem is that I don't want to wait around for him to hang it up for me. I want it done now. If I see something that I want to be placed up in the wall, I'm just going to do it, because that's just, you know, how I roll, I guess. I don't like to wait. Okay. So, let's see. This one, do I want this one in the front? Which one do I want in the front? Ooh, this is another thing, is I gotta make sure that it is upright the right way. So, and the black dots in there, you know, you won't be able to see them because they're gonna be covered by the signature. At least I hope they will be. So is this going to be the first one or this one? I think this is going to be the first one. Okay. So here we go. Again, this is my process. You know what? Actually, before I do that, I think I want to hinge this in. And I am going to get some washi tape maybe to do that, or maybe just a scrap. Maybe a scrap like this. Yes. Maybe that's what I'll do. Because I do love this. I don't want it to be in half, folded in half. But so what I'm going to do is that. Okay, I need some glue pages. For those of you that are new to junk journaling, which by the way, thank you so much, new subscribers. Oh my gosh, welcome. Thank you. And for those of you that have stuck around since the beginning, thank you too. I am so appreciative of your comments, your likes, your views. Thank you again. So for those of you that are new, you'll see a great deal of junk journalers who have like book pages that they call glue books. And the reason for that is if they are using a mat underneath, or what happens sometimes is when you're gluing, and if you're gluing on your mat, you're constantly having to wipe. So they use a what they call just pages of books as their glue book, so that they can do the glue around like that. And then they just put that aside. And then what happens then is that you can reuse your book. Just want to make sure this is straight. I don't want a crooked page. Is that hinged in straight, you think? It's straight enough. Also, what happens when you have glue stuck, depending on what type of glue, when you have glue stuck on your mat, and especially if it's like the Fabri-Tac, it's hard to, like this mat, it doesn't matter on this mat whether or not the print gets worn off. But if you're using the graph type of a mat and you're trying to remove your glue, it rubs off the graph as well. And a lot of people use the graph. But since I don't measure, I really don't need the graph, in which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but a lot of times I use my ruler. And this is actually on the opposite side of this mat is a graph anyway. Okay, I think that looks fine, right? Should I put it, should I maybe do it this way? Like this, that, and then like that. I kind of like it like, but see, if I put it in the middle here, then my my signature will poke. It's gonna poke through anyway. So I think I'm gonna do this. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so sorry. I'm so indecisive. Okay, I'm just going to do it this way. All right. Just want to make sure they're all straight. And then I'm going to clip it. Make sure it doesn't move around on me. Because I do want to keep it straight. It's nothing more annoying to me than trying to decorate a book that is all crooked inside, where the pages are all crooked. So I just want to make sure everything is in alignment. Sorry about that. I forgot to silence my phone. I'm just making sure everything is all straight before I start punching holes. Some people will use a awl and punch holes. I want to, because I want to use ribbon, you know what, now that I think of it, I think I'm just going to use wax thread. But that's okay. I'm going to still use my Crop-A-Dile because it has to go through. Just want to make sure everything is straight. I hate it when it's crooked. All right, let me take a little pencil here, if I can find it, and mark. And you know what? There's probably easier way to do this. Like everything, it's always an easier way. Somebody else has come up with something better or easier. So far, this has worked for me. Although right now it does sound like feel a bit cumbersome. But sewing in signatures is always been a cumbersome feat for me. So I don't know if you can see this. Hopefully I've got this. All right, let's cross our fingers. Oh, it helps to put on the punch part. Okay. And the thing about the Crop-A-Dile is that you have to look at this from the side. There's no view from the top. And I really like using my Crop-A-Dile only because it just punches right through everything really quickly and has perfect holes. And there you go, there is one. Okay, I'm going to use wax string, which I think may be black. I use black. And I think I have, yes, I have this. This is, I think, an upholstery needle, I think, maybe. One thing that I have seen, Donna from Twisted Paper Studio, she has this awesome, really long one. I have yet to find one like that. But if you go and see Donna from Twisted Paper Studio and watch some of her videos, I'm sure. I think those of you that have been doing videos for some time, you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's pretty cool. And she does great. She does tutorials. She is a teacher. She actually has teaches a seminar or a retreat, I think you would call it. And she's actually got one in Texas. I would love to go. Definitely love to go. But right now I have too many things pending that I can't really travel too far. So double. Okay. And I'm just going to leave these dangling in case I decide to hang a little charm or something like that. Okay. There's one. And then, oh, that's a little bit on the side there. But I think that's where I wanted it anyway. Actually, I wanted it more in the middle. So there's probably going to be a gap. How odd. I thought I had that figured. Oh well. Well, you know what? We'll just roll with it. That's one thing about junk journaling. We roll with it, right? Always. But the papers are nice and even, and they're all going the right way. They're not upside down. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's move on to the next signature, which, where is that? It's over here. And this one, do I need to? No, I don't have to hinge that in. Okay, everything is all even. I wanted this even. Okay. Mark there. Mark there. Mark there. I've seen junk journalers use a template. Which is great, but I am not that fussy. Not that it's fussy. I'm not trying to say it's, you know, too fussy or anything. It's just, it's too fussy for me, if that makes sense. And I'm, you know, I don't want to offend anybody either. Just, this is, again, this is my process. This is how I do things. You can put in any recommendations or suggestions. And I will consider trying it. I have tried a lot of other techniques, and this just seemed to work the best for me. And this is actually a combination of other journalers, other YouTubers. I implemented this, make sure I have this. I implemented the Crop-A-Dile and the signatures. I got that from Pam at the Paper Outpost. If you are a beginner and have never made a journal before, I recommend going to Pam. She is a great She does great tutorials. And that is who I first discovered junk journaling, was Pam at the Paper Outpost. I will go ahead and I have linked a lot of my inspirational YouTubers in my description. So if ever you're curious and want other... Now look at that. See, that did not turn out very good, did it? Now it's a good thing I'm covering it, because I don't like how that turned out. But yet, yeah, I don't know why. Why did that turn out like that? That's just odd. All right. So 1, 2, 3. The standard is to have your length of your string or ribbon or whatever 3 times the length of your journal, and you still end up with a lot of leftover, but which is good, because there's people that do want to hang things from them, and God, I'm disappointed. And see what I mean about me eyeballing it? Doesn't exactly come out the way it should. So if you want precise measurements, do not follow me, because precise measurements and that's just not how I do things. Okay. Where are you? Yeah, oh, see, that's the problem. What happened is that I did not punch where I did not mark my my holes in the proper place, and I didn't move this over where the holes were. If that makes sense. Either way, I didn't do the placement of my signature properly. I should have moved it over, because that's where the black is actually on this. See, right there. Okay. All right. This one I am going to clip close, because I only like one dangly if I'm going to make a dangly. Okay, so there's still pretty much a gap there, but I still can put a 3rd signature in there. Yeah, let's do that, since I've got such a big gap right here and right here. This is a little off. Let's do it. Let's do 3 signatures. This one I do have to hinge in. So what am I gonna put? Actually, I'm gonna hinge it here. I'm gonna hinge it on here. Should I? But it looks better like this, doesn't it? What am I going to hinge it with? do the same stuff? Sure, why not? Another thing that I don't do very often is use my cutter. I used to. However, I have been liking the torn look so much that that's all I've been doing. It's just folding it over and then tearing like that. So, you know, maybe a few years from now, I will change my mind. But right now, I'm sticking to just tearing. If I'm off camera, all I'm doing is gluing. I still haven't quite figured out my setup. Yeah, my setup is, I don't know, it's been frustrating trying to figure things out. I am not tech savvy. So, all right, let's do this. Let's do it. It's going to be a fat journal. However, I'm just not going to fill it as much or decorate it as much. I'll put stuff in it. Make sure this is the right side, right way. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to put that there, that there. And that there, and then move it down a little bit. Look at that, it's ripping right there. Okay, I'm gonna, let me make sure this is straight for one. And then I need to fix that where it's ripping. So the holes are going to go right over here. Okay. I don't have a choice but to put washi tape there or something to strengthen that, since that's ripping, because that was an old piece of paper. So let's get some washi. Sorry. Let me see. Ooh, this is kind of cute. And then maybe if I just do a little piece like that. Let me glue it too. Put some tacky glue on there, or Fabri-Tac. Problem problem is that's why it's ripping, is because it's being tugged at. So what I'm gonna do is add more. I am in camera, I hope. So I'm doing this beside the holes, only because I love that watercolor there. I don't want to completely cover it, so we'll see how it works. Do it on this side. All right, well, here goes nothing. We're gonna go ahead and just punch the holes in. And just do it. After I put my crocodile away. Okay, so let's see, we did it doesn't look even, so let me go right there. Let me find a clip for this. Okay. And I want to get it where it's closer so I can cover those holes, those black holes there. Why does it still look crooked to me? Maybe the signature is a little bit smaller than the other two. That could be why. Okay, let's just go for it. Struggling here. I'm chicken. I am chicken. Do not. So the hole will be right here. Oh my goodness. Here we go. That's not too bad. Okay. Hole right there. Okay. And hole right there. Ugh, that was a little too far to the edge. Okay, well, at least, again, like I said, we're gonna cover it, and it is going to be still, the signature is gonna be securely intact in there. And I'm sorry, oh my goodness, moving the camera, hitting it. 1, 2, just do 2.5 because I'm not gonna put a tail on this. Okay. It goes right through at least, and hopefully it is going to be all straight. The signature pages being straight, not crooked. This is definitely going to need some repair. Okay. Well, that looks good there. I don't know, I might have to do something about this. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But everything looks straight. Everything is pretty straight. This is a flip out here with the pockets. Got rag paper. Always gotta add some rag paper. Add some Asian flair here. And there's still this gap right here. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with those gaps. I just prefer them to be okay. I prefer not to have gaps in between. But what I do is I end up putting like a little envelope full of goodies right in here. Like that. So, all right. Well, we got the signatures in. And stay tuned for part 3. We're going to do a little bit of decorating, not too much since this is already full. And finish up with the cover. Thank you so much for joining me today, and please like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know you're there. I am dying for some company. Thank you again. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.